Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. For today, we are going to learn about atomic configuration, atomic structure or electronic configuration. So probably some of you already had this lesson in grade 7, but maybe most of you haven't got it. So I'll create this video so that you can understand the topic easier. And then you can open your planner. This is your planner. Somewhere around page 158, you have a periodic table. So atomic structures will help you determine where the element is in the periodic table. Now, as we all know from previous lesson, that the group is based on outer electron, which is the valence electron, and then the period is based on shell. So, going to go and look at this. Now, first rule is the simple configuration, because we will learn quantum configuration in the next unit. For this unit, it's just the simple configuration. This only apply for group A. You cannot use this for group B. Only group A. Now, each shell should not be more than the allowed amount of electrons. So the allowed amount of electrons is that the shell 1 has only 2 electrons, no more than 2. Shell 2 has 8 electrons. Shell 3 is 18 electrons, no more than 18. Less than 18 is okay, but no more than 18. And then shell 4 has 32 electrons. And the valence electron should not be more than 8. This is also important, that should not be more than 8. So what happens if you have an outer electrons more than 8? Then you need to break them down into 8 and 18. So here are the examples. I prepare you 3 examples. You have 6C. So for this one, remember shell 1 has 2 electrons. So automatically you put 2 electrons here. And since C has 6 electrons, you already put 1 in the shell 1. So how many electrons do you have more? Still have 4 more. So this 4 electrons, you put it in the second shell. This is the configuration for carbon. Then for magnesium, you have 12 electrons. You put 2 here, and let's say you put, how much more do you have? 12 minus 2. You still have 10 more electrons. Then you suddenly just put 10 here. Is it allowed? Of course not, because this breaks the rule for number 3, which means outer electrons should not be more than 8. Then you need to break them down into 8 or 18. Could you break 10 into 18? 18 is more than 8, so you cannot break them down into 18. So you break them into 8 and then 2 here. The total is still 10, but you have 8 electrons in shell 2 and 2 electrons in shell 3. Okay. Next, we're going to move on to the one which is so long, 50 tin. Sn is tin or stannum. You have 2 here. How much more do you have? Oh, black. 2, 12, 50. I go up here for a while. Okay, 50 minus 2. You have 48 electrons. You cannot put 8 electrons here because it's only allowed for 8. You put 8 here. Then minus 8. You still have 40 electrons. Now, you put another 18 here. 18. 40 minus 18. Then you have another 22 electrons. 22 electrons is not yet 32. So let's just put it 22 here. Is it allowed? Of course not, because see, valence electron should not be more than 8. So this one is not allowed. Just like this 10 is not allowed. So what should you do? You create more shell. So I'm going to put it down here for 50 SN. 50 SN. 2, 8, 18. 22 should be break down into 18, not 8. Because 22 is already more than 18. So you put 18 here. So 22 minus 18, you still have 12 minus 8 is 14. Oh, sorry, 4. So you still have 4. You put 4 here until 5 shell. Yes, if you are wondering, Miss, there's only 4 shell here. This 4 shell is the customized amount of electron, meaning you are allowed to create more shell. As you can see in the periodic table, there are 7 shell here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. So basically, you can create until 7 electron. These are the amount allowed in each shell. Doesn't mean that the shell are only 4. Okay? This one doesn't mean that the shell is only 4, but this is the amount of electron, the maximum electron that is allowed in each shell. However, you have to go through the other rules, which mean each shell should not be more than this one. Valence electron should not be more than 8, and if valence electron is more than 8, you need to break them into 8 or 18, like this one. 10, you break them down into 8 and 2. And 22, you break them down into 18 and then 4. That's the introduction for today's lesson, and we'll see you in class. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.